Hello guys, my name is Golden Boy and I'm really grateful that you clicked on this video again. And I want to remind you that there's a time I created a video about this thing called a kata, where the Western were using it to refer to the black Americans or to the foreigners. But some of you went ahead and told me that a kata doesn't mean a foreigner. Rather, it means that it is a wild animal. Now, today's video, I want to talk about this. It is just a black American guy also was complaining that the word akata is it's like a slang. It is like an abuse word which is being used to the Western African. It is used in Western Africans to refer to the black Americans. Now, I don't want to waste your time in this video. I just want you to see this and continue. Then I will catch up at the end and give you reasons.
Dear Africans and African Americans diaspora, specifically to Nigerians that are the cousins of African Americans, first cousins. In fact, a big chunk of the American black population is of Nigerian descent, Yoruba and Igbo and Fulanis. The other day, and I happen to have traveled all across Africa, so I know the languages. There was a Nigerian here in Kansas City who looked at me and was listening to myself and another African American speaking, and he directed us. He says, "Oh, those are just akatas, A-K-A-T-A-S, akatas in plural, A-K-A-T-A for one person." The word akata is very, very demeaning. It means we are cotton pickers and we're just a bunch of stupid idiots, wild animals. Cotton pickers and animals. That's the way it can be interpreted from the Yoruba language, and there's also a derivative from the Igbo language, the name akata. It's widely used by many racist idiots, descendant of the chiefs that sold African American descents and Africans in the diaspora into slavery. I'm going to tell you something to all you guys. You better quit that goddamn shit. You're not going to get away with it. Period. I confronted those people. We confronted them, myself and my buddy, and we put them right against the corner. And says, we know what that is. I said, consider yourself lucky this time, but it won't happen to you next time. And I made it a point today to spread that words. Do not tolerate the word akata directed to you African Americans. You are not cotton pickers and you are not wild animals. And I want to make perfectly clear to Nigerians or to any other West Africans, don't try that shit, brother, because there's going to be some real problems for you. We are pissed off. You idiots, not all of you, but I'm talking to guys that are utilizing those words, need to realize. Go to Accra, Ghana. Go to the castle where our ancestors were forced to sleep in manure, in chains, dragged across the ocean, died on the way. And you disrespecting us? You're the ones that sold us for combs? Brushes, mirrors from Europeans and silk from Asia. Shame on you. Don't even try that shit anymore, brother, because we understand your language now. Many of us have traveled to West Africa. We understand what the real story is, and you better start doing the same thing, brother, because you ain't getting away with that. There's going to be some serious consequences. Trust me. We ain't taking that goddamn shit anymore. Remember that. Do not utilize that word akata to describe us. You are here because African American marched, died, were thrown in jail, bitten by dogs, died in the field. F you. Don't ever use the word akata again.
I hope you understand that the guy, the way he was complaining, he was trying to say that the word akata doesn't mean something. It means something bad to to the Black Americans. But today I want to give you 5 things to know about the African Akata slang that is being used against the Black Americans. Now let's dive in. Now the blog star, that was a movie that do you know the Black Panther, which was being highlighted, was sweeping antagonists that has existed for ages between Americans and African immigrants, speaking directly to the state of the dynamic tensions. So one cultural spot for this tension is that the word Akata, and it is a Western term from the Yoruba with complicated history. So the word is derogative and not a term for endearment. And some West Africans use it to describe to the Black Americans and American-born Nigerians. So do you think it is a divisive slur that has contributed to the authorizing of native Black Americans and has driven a wedge between those who use the word Akata and those who get the cold word Akata? So here are the 5 things that I told you that you need to know about the use of Akata by the Western Africans toward the Black Americans. So the word Akata, I want to tell you that it is, some prefer to say it is a called cotton picker or a wild animal, or others are also saying that it is a wild cat. Now, a kata means that it is a cold picker in reference to the Black Americans who were also taken as slaves and shipped to the Americans to work on the cotton and other plantations. So that's where the word akata was being used. It also refers to the wild animal, which can be a cat, and in reference to someone who is uncultured. The slur has subsequently been picked up by other Nigerians and West Africans to refer to African Americans and the American-born Africans, to being referred to word akata. So it has two meanings. That it means that the word akata means that it is someone, when they call you akata, it means that you are someone who is uncultured, someone who don't have African values, who don't know more about African values and cultures. So African mothers want their children not to marry akata. Yeah, there are sometimes that African mothers used to warn the children not to marry their Akatas. Now, African mothers living in the US as immigrants back in their home countries in West Africa usually warn their sons and daughters against the marrying African Americans because they are considered as Akata and thus not cultured enough. That's what I was trying to say here. So the word slur is commonly used by the Western African. So it has also been written by some of the people here, but I don't want to see this. I want you to know that the slur is a common knowledge among the second generation Nigerians Americans. They use the slur is familiar amongst the second generation Nigerians Americans. So this is a large due to identity crisis from having one or both parents who are immigrants to the US. So this is something that is used. It is used according to different contexts. So I think that I'm just clarifying it by saying that the word akata has many meanings. It was from Yoruba, and it is commonly used by the Yoruba people from the Western Africa, and it means that you are someone who is uncultured. It also means that it is called cotton picker. It also means that you are a wild cat. And also akata can also be refers to a wild cat or to a wild animal. You also have to know that some before the exact meaning was given, there are some people who used to think that the word akata was referring to a Black Panther, but no, it is not the way people think about it. So I also have something here that there are some defensive Yoruba who used to refer to him. They saying that akata is an animal which is not bold enough to eat a hen and its owner. So generally it is used to describe both males and females, and not just the females. Before I even continue, I also want to tell you that the word Akata is being used by both countries, Nigeria and Ghana. But in Nigeria, it means that it is a cat. It is a wild cat. For a wild cat called a several that has no home, but it is used to mean a Yoruba person who doesn't know the language or culture. So that is according to Nigerians. So I don't want you to know that the word Akata is something that if you use it can be of it if you are using it according to the scenario of the place or what is you being referring to. So when I refer to you as a kata, I mean that you are an cultured person. Yes. So at the same time, I can also say that this cat is a kata. This cat to mean that this cat is a wild cat that doesn't eat or doesn't eat hens. Yes, so this is something that I just thought that do you think that I'm really making value to these videos? So the word akata has been having meanings even to the Japanese. They have meanings. Akata can also mean as a meaning to a kata girl, and also there are a lot of things that akata is being used for. So I don't want to say that akata is a slur, is a negative or positive. I don't know. It only depends on where you are going to use that word. So I think that I answered this guy. So then I also want to say that Akata, there are books which were written, Akata Witch, which is in 2011 fantasy novel written by a Nigerian American author that is known as Nedi Okorafo. It was nominated for the Andre Norton Award, and it is the first novel in the Nisi script series, where it is followed by two sequels, Akata Warrior and Akata Woman, published in 2017 and 2022 respectively. So you can also go and read that book. That was the author is Nedi Okafro, and it was followed by Akata Warrior. Then it is a genre book which is for youth adult fiction, fantasy fiction, high fantasy, and paranormal fictions. So it has a bit pages of 349, and also cover it is great Ruth. So I think that if you can go and read that book, then at least you can also find the other words which were being used by the Western African. Finally, ending this video by saying that thank you for watching this video up to this point. Then I think that I will wish if you could subscribe to my channel and get me to 1,000 subscribers, then I'll be really grateful for that. Otherwise, I want to say that I'm also grateful to those returning subscribers, and to the new subscribers also. Kindly consider subscribing this channel. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video.